I wasn't.
Okay.
So apologies if I upset anyone.
Constructive criticism, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, so my next review is some Charleston style dancing flash mobs. This is one of my interests is community art, so I wanted to see performances at local events that engage with the community. So I decided to go and see a group, Work in Progress, who were doing Charleston-inspired flash mobs at 3 different events. So the first of these events was a launch for a local project, the Time Bank. The venue was a room above a pub that, although it was spacious, was not accessible to everyone. The dancers encouraged everyone to get up and join in and took us through the steps together so that we could learn at our own pace. We then did the dance together and with the music. This style was very inclusive, as it didn't matter at what stage people joined in and the pace they learnt at. It was more of a tutorial than an actual flash mob, but got the room engaged and was good at getting people talking to each other. So I'd give the performance a 3 out of 5 stars. The second event was Northfield Carnival. This time the flash mob was based in a marquee with some craft workshops, and the position of the dancers made it hard for people to join in, and because of the craft activities going on around them it had less of an impact. I think more could have been done to promote the fact that the dancers were there on the day, and for more of a kind of traditional kind of surprise flash mob it would have been better to start within a crowd at the carnival and in and amongst the public and not kind of hidden away in the marquee. So unfortunately I'd only give that 1 star. The third event I attended was Northfield Beach, which was an urban beach on a local high street. The flash mob positioned itself at one end of the sand and encouraged everybody to join in. This time it had more of an impact, and you could see it made everyone kind of stop and see what was going on. And it definitely encouraged everybody to kind of get up and get involved. So I'd definitely give this performance 4 stars. For me, out of the 3 events, the beach flash mob had the most impact. I think it did the job for getting people talking and interested, and also encouraged people to join in. It was also accessible to everybody. The least successful was Northfield Carnival, where the flash mob was hard to find and it was kind of difficult to see because the marquee was quite dark. I'd definitely go see the group again if they decided to perform the flash mob, and I would definitely join in again. I think that it works better as an outside performance and somewhere where people can clearly see it, like an event, just not in a tent. In terms of my own arts practice, viewing these performances has really kind of helped me realise the importance of the location of a performance and how that can change the way that people perceive it, and where 3 similar performances, it made a real big impact on where they were based. And so that's something that I'd definitely look at if I was organising something similar.
Okay. Feedback?
Very interesting. I like how you compare all 3 flash mob and like what you like about each of them, what didn't work, what did work. So I thought that kind of that shows your interest, kind of, because it's management. So you kind of have like an overview of what worked, and that worked well. And I also like how you link it to your art form at the end, and kind of learn from it. You kind of on there you said about what you learn and things, so that was really good.
Cool. Vicky?
Good comparison of places of where the performances were held. That was good.
Thank you.
And the best bit was the fact that you were able to discuss how you would change it as an arts manager, and especially the bit about the carnival in the tent because it was too dark, and it was surrounded by art stuff with rose. Yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll be harsh. I thought it was good how you were talking about the space, and that's part of the event, but I think the art form itself is a bit neglected in your review, because you didn't say what kind. You said 1930s tea dance, but you didn't say what kind of stylised dance and what kind of movement you made and how easy it was for you to join in. I felt that bit could have and should have been explored more in your review, because you didn't really have a much view of what the art actually was.
Okay.
But other than that, I liked it.
Thank you.
I do agree with you on that part, but she did talk about how easy it was for people to join. Actually, she did talk about certain parts of the movement, but she didn't describe it as widely as she could have, but she did talk about how easy it was for people to join in.
And yeah, as I suppose someone behind it, I would agree with your comments, to be honest. And I think the interesting thing is about the carnival was we weren't planning to do a flash mob. That wasn't what it was, because to be honest, until the night before, I didn't even know that Dr. Wen was able to make it. So we were more doing a recce than we were doing anything. And then if we could do something, we would, sort of thing. Yeah. But what I think is fascinating is your feedback about. Well, it's really interesting to hear feedback about the event, because we haven't ever reflected on it. And at the time, it was very busy. So we've never really kind of got any feedback from it particularly, and also I don't think it went as well as we wanted it to, so it's quite interesting to kind of hear what you think. And I also wonder, if you were tasked with the job of managing that mini project, how would you manage it? And I think all I would do is ask you to think about that, and maybe add that to your review to sort of go, because actually, you know, it might be something that you might work with me on in the future, because what was really, really lacking for me at the time, I had a vision for that project, but I didn't have the capacity to really get the community engagement going, or to plan it out in the way that I might have liked to. So it might be someone like you in the future that I would work with to sort of kind of make it happen practically. So it's quite interesting to hear from you. So if I was given responsibility for Dr. Wen and for the Charleston dance, how would I have managed those 3 events personally?
Awesome.
Okay?
Yeah, brilliant.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay.